welcome back for your daily dose of the doctor. And today we have another My Saucy opinion for you. Today we are talking about Thunderbolts. Yeah, so we're kind of jumping into the next Marvel phase here with Thunderbolts, so it's kind of an exciting movie. And I can say right off the bat, I really enjoyed this one. This movie's dark, it's gritty, it's got some mystery, it's got mischief. There's so much going on in this film. So if you don't already know, the Thunderbolts movie is basically taking all of our, I almost want to say the unliked
misfits.
Characters in the MCU, the misfits in the MCU, and just bringing them all together to make a team, basically. I think the easiest way to put it is Marvel's Suicide Squad, pretty much. Yeah, so I think obviously one of the standouts in this movie is just the chemistry between the whole team here. I know a lot of people, including myself, we were a little worried to see how the team was going to play. Is this going to be an enjoyable movie? Now, fair warning, we will be talking about some spoilers in this movie. So if you don't want maybe some minor things spoiled or a couple details, maybe tune out of this one. These movies are getting so intense with detail, though, we almost can't not talk about them without spoiling stuff, so that's why I gotta put that in there. I thought this movie was basically centered around Yelena, and it's kind of like her getting over her own tragedies. I've been seeing online a lot of people are saying this movie is basically one giant therapy session. Just because it tackles so many dark and emotional issues of being alone, abandonment, not being wanted, past trauma. I mean, the list just keeps going. And that's also true for our other characters in Thunderbolts as well. Everyone has this revolving, basically sad backstory filled with trauma, and they're all there's some funny moments where they're trying to out-trauma each other, basically. And like, oh, well, you were abandoned as a child? I never even met my dad. Joke's on you. Like, I think the movie had a really great pacing to it.
I didn't think it was slow at any point. Like, did you have some lesser action parts? Obviously, because you need to build those emotions for the characters and all of that. But I felt like the movie was pretty go, even from the start.
They did a good job of intertwining your slow bits with also your action bits. So, sure, you might be in a slow scene, but every couple of conversations, the movie's flopping back to what the spy crew is basically doing, and there's your action, pretty much. There's a good flow in the movie.
It all tied together, yeah. Everything seemed like it was necessary, which sometimes doesn't happen in movies, in my opinion. Where you're like, did we really need that 10-minute scene on that?
Yeah, because it was a little longer of a movie as well, so it was good that it wasn't drawn out, and that's why it was just long.
Filler.
It's just long because the story was that kind of complex. Yeah, so story. Let's dive into the story here. All right, now again, warning, spoilers here. So if you don't want the movie spoiled for you, swipe on out of here. So your movie focuses around your Thunderbolts crew, who are all sent on a mission to take out one another in this top secret warehouse in the middle of the desert. And what they don't know is all 5 of them have been ordered to kill each other, which basically means they all die. So really they're just taking out the evidence, which they are the evidence. Just trying to cover up those dark secrets, I guess, of Congresswoman. Is she a Congresswoman?
So they were trying to cover up the secrets of Julia Louis-Dreyfus's character, of all these dark secret testings that they were doing. So they're trying to get rid of all evidence, so that was including the Thunderbolts.
Rumor is they got back into the super serum business, and they wanted to make something. The way they described it was they were trying to make a serum powerful enough that it could specifically beat every one of the Avengers and their powers. So they were trying to make the Ultra Serum, basically. And this scene kicks off the movie, too. So you're not waiting like 30 minutes for the characters to all meet each other. They're all meeting together within the first probably like 10, 15 minutes. It's pretty quick. Which is also where they introduce my favorite character, Bob. So as they're all fighting each other, trying to kill each other, Ghost does successfully kill Taskmaster. Rest in peace. I feel bad for the actor because she kind of just didn't get to be in this movie, even though she was advertised in the team. Yeah, so as they're all fighting each other, they accidentally hit the release button on one of the storage pods containing what was supposed to be a dead body, but little do they know, we got our boy Bob sitting in there, and the super serum didn't kill him. It actually worked so well that it brought him back to life, and he's our boy, the Sentry. Now, I'll come out and say it, Sentry is the best part of this movie. I think this movie worked so well because they had such a high-level villain, where every time they interacted with the Sentry, you knew the Thunderbolts were going to lose. You knew they even make jokes about it a couple times where they're just like, so what, our whole team just punches and shoots and like no one flies? Or like, yeah, we're a shitty ass team. So I kind of like it in that sense that they couldn't physically overpower this dude, and they made it very clear that you're not winning against the Sentry. He will pummel you into the ground. That's how strong the character is in the comics, so it was really nice to see they gave him that same, like, attributes. And then on top of that, they did the Void even better. I really like the actor they picked to play Sentry, Louis Pullman. He's really good. He was able to show that he almost had that kind of scared kid look in his face because he's like a lab rat. I don't know, I think it was just very good how they depicted the Sentry and the Void being the same person and just basically multiple personalities.
Yeah.
It was just awesome.
Like, one would be the lighter side, one's the darker side. And I think he was good. He had like a sense of innocence to him almost. Both just in his face, but who he was in the movie and as Bob before he knew that he was Sentry. Like, but he played so many different like roles in this movie basically.
Yeah, I think I enjoyed his character so much because his character wasn't focused around his powers either. So his powers were always there and always present, but you enjoyed the character because he was kind of fun, a little witty, he was nice, you're right, he's just a little innocent kid. Also really enjoyed how we discovered about the Sentry's powers at the same time everyone else did. So even Bob himself, he knew, but we learn every time the Void personality takes over, like Moon Knight style. Crazy style. Every time the Void takes over, he can't remember what happened and he loses his memory. So he knows he has the powers when he wakes up, but because he's waking up from a Void incident in the lab, he doesn't know he has powers, he doesn't know what's going on, and we're finding out information just as fast as he is. So a little side note while I'm sitting here editing this again, one of the big things I loved about the Sentry and the Void that they did is they made him so dark and so black, he was actually void of any color. And it was just beautiful. It was perfect. I felt like I had to throw that in there. They did such a good job with that. It was nice figuring out about it because you knew he had powers, but you didn't directly know. You just know because you think he's the Sentry. And then every time someone either helps him or touches him or bumps into him, you get these crazy flashbacks from their darkest shit of their childhood. And then they take their hand off of him and they're like, what the fuck? You're like, what the fuck? It was just very good. You learned about what was happening as everyone else did. And I just love that pacing. It made the mystery better, in my opinion, because I know who Sentry is, but I've never read him in the comics before. So I think this was a good one because the whole movie I was sitting there like, is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Who is he? Like, I honestly don't know. How are they going to play it?
Even what powers did he have? I don't know what powers he has, at least.
Yeah, I know in retrospect what he can do, but yeah. So I think that added to the mystery too and some of the fun of his character because you were almost kind of fighting for him to be good as well, but then because he has such a sad story. But at the same time, if you're like me, you're like, fuck yeah, the Void, kill all these people. Because it was so awesome. Yeah, so next thing we're talking about. The special effects they did for the Void, holy cow, they were insanely good. Just the vibe you felt in the theater whenever the powers were used, it was so intense. They put a bass boost whenever someone like died and got voided. So every time you saw the shadow, you would get this giant bass boost in the theater where it was a much more impactful, like, holy shit, that guy's dead, you know? And I kind of liked how they didn't hold back on the trauma, if that makes sense. What comes to mind is Red Guardian saves this little kid girl. Girl gets fucking killed instantly. Like, they're not holding back, you know? Like, I feel like in a normal Marvel movie, you wouldn't have seen a little child girl just get voided, you know? Like, it felt dark, where it was like, oh, shit, like, where they're going there.
The whole theater went,
yeah,
like, you could audibly
everyone
hear
just
everyone.
like, oh, fuck, like, whoa.
I think because it was such a sweet and innocent moment, you're like, oh, he saved her. And, oh my, like, what the heck just
hit you. So I really enjoyed what they were able to do with that there. I thought the ending was all right. I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but obviously you kind of know you have to defeat a multiple personality character by making the other personality better so it can overcome the dark personality. So long story short, the team has to go into the void to find the Bob personality to help him take over the void personality and gain control of everything back. So it's a fun kind of story there. All right, let's get into my saucy opinion here. So I don't know, we're teetering on the fence here, but I don't know if we can find anything we disliked about the movie. So I think we're throwing this one at extreme. We got an extreme.
It's so rare, that's all.
I think maybe this is what I was looking for a little bit in Captain America, Brave New World, where just that pacing was a lot more fluid and enticing. You cared a little bit more about the mysteries and what was happening.
It felt like a Marvel movie.
It felt like a Marvel movie. It felt like we were back in the Winter Soldier days and we were just in the nitty gritty. We're like, oh, fucking Hydra, what are they doing here? Like, it was good.
It was good.
If you have a chance this weekend or the next, I'd say go out and give this movie a try. It's not superhero in the fact where you're just watching people fly around for 2 hours. They're all real characters. They're real people. They're just strong, so they can punch strong.
Yeah,
you know?
People.
So it's not relying on the superhero-ness of the movie. It has a really good story and a good plot. Now that we've covered that, we need to get into this post-credit scene. But in our post-credit scene, not only do we get, at the end of the movie, they're no longer the Thunderbolts. They're now titled the New Avengers, which honestly, it was kind of hype, dude. It was kind of hype. The title looked sick. It was cool.
Like, Marvel gave us the title. Not just, like,
yeah,
it was, they gave us the title.
It was official, you know? And so then it goes 14 months later, and you see the new Avengers squad in their kind of hangout headquarters talking about how the real Avengers don't want to team up with them because they're this, like, just chump squad, basically. And their computer starts going off like, hey, something's entering the atmosphere from interdimensional space. And they pull up their satellite feed cam, and what do you know? It's the Fantastic Four ship. Now, I know the movie hasn't come out yet, but that already answers a lot of questions about the movie. It tells us the whole story, basically. Now we know what's going to happen in Fantastic Four. If you don't know, let me break it down for you. So we know in Fantastic Four, Galactus is coming to their Earth with Silver Surfer, shit's going down. Galactus is the Eater of Worlds, we know that. But having the Fantastic Four flying down to our Earth as a post-credit scene at the end of this movie implies all the theories that Galactus does win, destroy their Earth, and the only way for them to survive and get out of there is to escape, and they're coming down to our Earth. So I imagine Reed Richards built some kind of parallel dimension portal, a time travel, some kind of machine that enabled them to, like, blink out of there. Maybe a little bit of Kang technology, who knows? But so anyway, so the Fantastic Four are coming to our MCU world, which is very hype, but it also confirms that their world fucking dies. So it's cool to know that the Fantastic Four movie is going to be them losing, I think. Because if you're like me, you love seeing action. You love seeing shit get dark. Either. Exactly. You can't always have a win, and I love seeing when you don't have that win. So does it spoil a little bit of the plot for Fantastic Four? Maybe, because you know they lose and have to escape to our world. But at the same time, it hypes me up because I'm like, holy shit, they're gonna lose, there's gonna be a lot of action, we're gonna get to see a world get destroyed by Galactus. And I am all in for that, baby. All right, well, I think that'll about do it here on this episode of My Saucy Opinion. Man, we really went in on this one. I do feel like these are a little more fun when we can talk about spoilers, though. Did you go out and see this movie? What did you think? Are you with us where you're like, holy cow, this was so good? Or are you kind of down here in the maybe a medium tier? You're like, it had some heat. I don't know what you're talking about. I guess the Sentry was cool. You better stay buckled in your seats because we got new movies every week now. We are now in Movie Mania Madness Summer. Next one might be Lilo and Stitch. We have Jurassic World coming. We got Superman coming. We have, obviously, Fantastic Four is coming. We have F1 with Brad Pitt. That's coming out too. There's a new movie every single week, so make sure to stay tuned and pop in because you never know what we might be reviewing. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed watching this episode of My Saucy Opinion. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.